call me fuego. 93 like me. Fire in the sheets, spending summers on the sea. It's okay though, she know way home. Better life on the day.
We're not at Saturday just yet though. We've still got one final game of Errant Gold to be played out tonight. Round number 15 of 20. And I've got to say, Jordan, we've both casted quite a few leagues of PUBG. This is probably the closest with 5 games remaining that I've seen a leaderboard in terms of not necessarily like a top 3 or a top 2 closeness. I'm talking just like from 9th to 1st, anyone can still win. Dependent, of course, on how games play out for those teams. Even a team like Fury Australia, 10th position, 79 points. 30 points, 5 games remaining. I'm pretty sure the comeback that they had all the way back for, you know, when was it? The beginning of last year, right? For the Face It Global Summit. I think even that was a harder comeback. On Boya. And I was thinking, you know, you mentioned where they're going. I was thinking the yellows, which of course are no longer yellow now, was potentially an area that they might elect to go to. Now I wish I had said it, because it would have looked like a clairvoyant. Easy one for Linksy. What? And I'm sure Linksy probably just said the exact same thing. I don't know how he doesn't win those. Extreme can't either against Homboya. Speechless, Jordan. Yeah, take it.
I don't know what to say either, Xenox, but it is what it is, I guess. There's not a whole lot that you can really do about it. They are playing from Australia. We will remember that. I won't touch on that too long, but yeah, I guess that's how it is. Anyway, Zoidmate and Flood. Or not potentially Zoidmate and Flood. Maybe just Flood. The last one's left alive here for Atletico. It's not looking too good at all for them. Cerberus keeping an eye on things. Zoidmate is knocked on down. And I can't really see Atletico getting much out of this one. Flood even has got Phoenix Gaming headed in his direction as well. Look, I think the name of the game for the Aussie teams at this point really is just to try and avoid fights at all costs. Play for those placements as long as you can. Only take those engagements when you really have to. Oh, Konaxi! He's jumped off the bike! Oh my god, what's going on there? Did he do that on purpose? I don't know, but he's fallen off. He's dead. Divine is just going to go grab themselves a point. Drive on past. Buriram won't be able to save Konaxi here. That's rough.
So apparently, I'm just looking at the rankings, Jordan. Have you noticed what's happened? Oh, never mind. It's already just been fixed as soon as I brought it to attention. It's all good. Well, I kick a boot out with the knockdown onto Castel. Driving by. Well, you mentioned Creatory Esports feeding points over to teams. Now it's Fury's turn. Oh, don't lose this one, boys. Not to Creatory Esports. Insight knockdown early. How is Creatory still standing right now?
I'm not sure. Liking a Mukau definitely struggling to hit IQ 500, although he is now in a smoke, so there's maybe something to come from that. Ronan's down on the ground here as well. Juxi seems to be the savior for Fury at the moment as he does finish off Reality. Gets the knock onto 1405 as well. IQ 500 should cop some damage from that grenade. Doesn't relieve enough pressure here for Fury to get that res onto Insight. They're going to need to be very quick, and I don't know that they can get to Insight in time. Knock does go out, the finish off onto Creatory, so that's some much needed points for Fury. Just waiting to see whether Insight gets picked back up, and looks like he will. Juxi's there just in time. Insight on a sliver of HP, but they get it done.
Messy though, right? I mean, you'd think Fury would have been able to clean that up a lot cleaner, considering the fact that Creatory Esports were basically out into the open. I know that Fury didn't have direct line of sight, like head-to-head. They did have to sort of peek over it just a little bit, but they were in the better position. They had the vehicles.
Maybe they're going to be copping another feed like the one that we saw on Miramar. Made in Thailand are there as well. DIC, though, have run into Archangel Predator and talk about how big of a challenge it is for teams to catch up to first place. That is not going to help giving Archangel Predator a couple of points on the board. Buriram will not be pleased to be seeing that at all from DIC. And might not just be 2 points, Xenox. It might look like it's going to be 4 points. Because all of DIC seem quite keen on dying there.
And it's like the double-edged sword as well for DIC. Not only are they potentially going to go out, but then they're feeding points over to the team in first place, extending that gap, making it harder for themselves to then potentially overtake them. Here's the push from Day Trade Gaming. These yellows are certainly important. The nade is not really going to be that impactful. Flash knocked down immediately. The nade, though, secondly, followed up by shots from Duckmans. Will get Flash and Matey both down. And the push unsuccessful from Day Trade. Duckman just lasers Venatica, though. Day Trade have come up really unsuccessful now. Puchel's last one alive. Does he maybe just try and get a flush onto Duckman? He does get the knockdown. Does he just quickly run over, try and be a bit cheeky and get a flush? No, he falls back, expecting the push from Espelugia. Just sprays him through the bush like he just don't care, even though we can hardly see him. Well, look, where are you going to go from there? There's nothing you can do. Puchel goes down. Annihilation, 6 kills for Made in Thailand. And to the top 3, solidifying their position closer towards Buriram and Archangel Predator. They are looking good tonight, Made in Thailand, and they're looking like they're making a push towards that top spot going into the last 5 games.
Definitely a much better performance from tonight for Made in Thailand. They did leave a lot to be desired on day number 2, but that has certainly turned around here for day 3. And we are in that final match, so they'll be looking to pick up as many points as they can, keep themselves in a stone's throw distance of Archangel Predator and Buriram.
DivisionX Gaming just wanted to group up, and that's the smart play. I was intrigued from the start of it because I thought potentially there was a chance for Ferox to maybe kind of split DivisionX Gaming away from each other. That's not it.
That's not what you want to be seeing.
Did that just flip back immediately? That looked like it was going to stall out.
Yeah.
He's landed it. It's been the night for these gymnastic performances from the vehicles. Jukesy has his turn. Now they go sliding and fishing around. It's not going to spell well. Oh my god. Yeah, look. I would say they were pretty lucky from the start to even get to that position in the first place, Jordan.
I don't think that Fury's going to get out of here, though. How Jukesy survives, I've no idea. He's sitting in the smoke.
No, they're dead.
No, they're done. Fury's out in 14th. That's pretty rough. Just rotating in a little bit too late and rotating in through one of the most congested areas of the map. If they would have gone up through school, gone up through Rozok, they could have driven into Watertown right behind Phoenix Gaming. No problems at all. But they've gone through the wrong side of the map, unfortunately. And that's the end of not 1, but 2, as you say, Australian teams. The last remaining survivor is going to be Ferox. Sweetsol is shooting at Tyre, I guess, maybe? Couldn't really see.
You know what, though? Like, this is, bias aside, they're so much more impactful for Fury because they, coming into this game, still were in a massive position to compete for the top 3. They would have known that as well. Going out this early, not getting anything from this final 5th game of the night, 5 games remaining now. Everyone above you is going to improve on the rankings, makes it harder. You were already 29 points behind first, but if you had have been able to get, say, 10 to 15 points, maybe even just 5 to 10 points, just something, you go into Saturday with a chance. Now, I'm not counting them out. I still think even with 5 games remaining on Saturday, Fury can compete for easily a top 5 position. It's only 7 points from Divine. But this just makes it that little bit harder. When teams like Atletico, Day Trade, Creatori, they go out, look, they're done. Their day is done in terms of being able to compete in this tournament for the top 5. It's less impactful when they go out. But Fury, 14th, nothing. They picked up 2 kills, I think, and that was about it. Victim from the future, trying their luck now, rotating past the Archangel Predator, who have at least stepped up here in this final game of the night. How is he alive is the question, and hopefully the answer shortly will be that he doesn't stay alive much longer, and he doesn't.
Does not indeed. Teddy and Man might be under a bit of pressure here as well from Mad Dog Grumps. What? What's just going on there? He's just driven into him. He's alive. They're all alive. I don't know what's going on. Ferox is on the rotate as well. Everyone's on the rotate. No one wants to be involved here. Grums gets blown up, I think, here, and he does. Just absolutely blitzed out of the server. See you, mate. Great observing, by the way. That was fantastic. And VTF, I don't know where they go from here, but they probably are cooked. So too is probably Ferox. Archangel Predator have set themselves up, and they're going to snipe down a few of these kills before they move on.
For whatever reason, this phase 4 circle has just brought on a lot of carnage.
Insanity.
Mad Dog in a prime position. The rest of Archangel Predator in a prime position to send Ferox packing here. They've had a much better night tonight, Ferox. They should probably be pleased with how they played in comparison to last week, but just not enough to really keep them, say, with the top 10. Cozzy's been amazing, though, and I think for an individual player, how you feel about how your games are going, he's got to feel happy that, okay, I'm franking out, I'm playing well. Obviously, he'd be preferring that the team's playing better, though.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, he gets a knock onto CJ, so it seems to continue here for Cozzy. Unfortunate reality is, though, that he's not going to get out of this alive. They're not inside of the circle. He's a solo right now. He's surrounded by 3 teams now that DivisionX Gaming is coming into the picture as well. NVK just decides to jump out of his Dacia, wants to find some frags and won't. There goes Teddy as he gets knocked by Sapao. But this is just madness over towards the western side of the map. And QC are really reaping a lot of the benefits from it. They've picked up 3 kills already. They're seeing a lot of these teams fall. Cozzy trying to survive. Has to go back over the hill and does look to have survived for the moment, but still under pressure. Gems is actually firing at him, completely ignoring Carbs, and eventually Cozzy just has nowhere to run.
Just bring your attention over to the left-hand side of your screen, Jordan. Top 8 all still in this game, every single one of them. The worst placed positionally is the team that's in number 1, Archangel Predator. Only 1 player remaining at the road just in front of QC and very close to DivisionX, although it does get a reprieve with this circle. Interesting. Carls can make a decision here. I think the better decision actually is to not cross this road, but he's already made that decision. We'll see if it backfires, but the top 8 are all going to just push and pull away from the bottom 8.
He wants to try and finish up Jarman, but just doesn't really have the time for it. DivisionX Gaming now have spotted him out, and there's only so much fancy footwork that you can put in here. Maybe he's lucky if QC peek back out and start putting some pressure onto DivisionX Gaming. Decides, you know what, I'm just going to... Oh, no, I'm not going to throw him down here. He's got a better position, actually. I mean, Carbs, I have no idea how he's still alive. But he's putting in some work right now for Archangel Predator. Does seem like Sapao is going to go on the hunt, though. And unless DivisionX gets third-partied here by QC, I can't see this ending well for Carbs.
Ooh. It's a bit lucky there with the bounce. It could have hit the top of the Dacia and bounced down a little bit. That's going to be just short of the mark. I think it did 29 damage. It did. 6 kills for Archangel Predator, close to the placement points, but not there just yet, especially if Carbs does go down here. That'll mean only 8 teams remain, so he'll be the one that goes on the bubble. And the push is coming from Long K and Sapao. And Sapao does find Carbs. 9th position for Archangel Predator. 6 points gained, but no placement points. 115 points with 5 games to go. They lead for now, but only for now, Jordan, especially when you've got 2nd to 8 all still in this game. It's very likely they may not be in 1st place to end the night.
Well, Buriram definitely looking like a team that might be in 1st place because they're center circle. They have a few players alive. It doesn't look like anyone's really contesting them at the moment. It's battles for the extremities. And Buriram have set themselves up on an island in the center of the circle. Here is one of those battles. NAMC, what a great grenade onto 6 sacks. And Nicky will opt to push off of the back of it. He was flashed for a second there, but he's okay for now. And 6 sacks does go down. Now, you have to be aware for the rest of the Golden Cats players coming from Church. That's already a nice position being taken by Divine. That bowl, so good to play from.
Levi's with a knockdown into tonight. Divine currently in 6th position, taking this fight against 7th position Golden Cat. Expect to see a lot of those fights for this final match here tonight. Golden Cat eliminated pretty quickly. NAMC with an 8. Appendix or not, he's still fragging out. Oh, never mind. Gets fragged by Gems, who just pokes his head up for a little bit of time. 5 kills now for QC, 4 Horsemen. They push up. The nades out from Jayers. The circle, though, right on top of DivisionX Gaming, and still made in Thailand at the Yellows, where potentially in another universe it would have been Atletico residing there.
Well, this could be some really critical points on the board for QConfirm. They have managed to get that confirmed kill onto NAMC, but it seems the call has been made now to just slow down this engagement. Gems and Jay is backing off a little bit. Divine also not too eager to take much of a fight right now. QC are fragging out this game. They're putting themselves up the scoreboard again. You know, this is a chance for them to go back into day number 4 on almost 1st place. You know, they're probably not going to get quite up there, but bring it within 5 to 10 points if they get a win. They've got 4 players alive. They're already dealing with Divine fairly comfortably. DivisionX Gaming, who is the next team that they'll have to deal with, is already down to 2 players. So Maybe a chance here for QConfirm as they continue to put that pressure onto Divine. Jaya's up close, Gems sniping, and Svit and Jowman quite far back. But a nice setup for QC, and there's just nowhere that Divine is going to be able to go.
The best that they can do is if they can get Jayas, who's pushing up close right now, he's got to be very careful that he doesn't get knocked because it could open the door for Divine Esports to then push onto Gems and Svit. Jowman's crossing the road. He's trying to get a bit of control towards the center of the circle. So QC4 Horsemen are making movements inwards for their future here rather than being short-sighted and focusing everything onto Divine. Now being pushed upon is made in Thailand by Cerberus Esports. Subang finds Hungvo Ditch behind them. Dr. Logi and Kush out to their far east. Made in Thailand have benefited so much from that initial push onto these yellows where they cleaned out Atletico. They've held firm. They've been able to rack up even more kills. They've been able to get these circles and they hold their third place on the rankings. They could potentially find themselves in first to end the night. Addy from Buriram United does get Dr. Lochi. Phoenix Gaming should be out soon, and I think Divine will follow them as well. Kush is only just sitting in the smoke, living up to his name, and Divine with two just outside of the circle being pressured by the blue. But it's this push here that's going to be critical. Basil knocked down immediately by Escalating. Subang pushing a little bit further back. Smell Alexa now start to clear these buildings. It's a flashbang that does land onto Duckman.
Yeah, this is a crazy engagement here for Cerberus and Made in Thailand. They're essentially isolated on their own island. We get the split screen, both of the fights now. Made in Thailand will push forward, so too will Divine. And what Divine need to be aware of is that QConfirm is coming up from their backside as well. So even if they deal with Buriram, they're going to have the four horsemen to deal with them very quickly indeed. Back to Made in Thailand, never mind, back to Buriram, who inevitably do get knocked out, and so too does Divine. It is going to be QConfirmed. Quite happy with that. And it wasn't all of Buriram. It was just Nordra. So God Meow still alive. Buriram hanging in there. But this is looking good for QConfirm. They control the high ground. They're not in a position where they have to take any risky engagements. And Made in Thailand, who is at the moment probably their biggest threat with 4 players left alive, is in this really awkward engagement with Cerberus.
It's imperative that Made in Thailand come out of this with all 4 alive to increase their chances as they then have to push out into the next circle. Very likely that they could achieve this feat. Minoru with a knockdown onto Smell at least makes it even easier. Flashbang's not going to connect the way he thought it would connect. Saki just spots Minoru. Oh, he got baited and then Spit with the third party from QConfirm. That's not going to help Cerberus. It's going to help everything from Made in Thailand's way. 11 kills, 4 alive. But now time to get moving. QConfirm certainly will have eyes on this location of Made in Thailand. Buriram, you still have God Meow up. DivisionX with 2, Sapao and MBK. And as I mentioned multiple times, the top 8 benefiting a lot in this game. Well, now we've got 4 teams that have all cracked triple digits. QConfirm could be the 5th as well later on. Sapao cannot land these shots. Duckman continues to dodge bullets like he's Neo.
It's like water off a duck's back. Made in Thailand pushing up onto DivisionX Gaming, and if they're able to get rid of these 2 players, MBK and Sapao, without losing anyone, could be a big deal. Now, Buriram, God Meow, he's given up those points to the blue, which is pretty critical given how close things are at the top end of the scale. And 4 horsemen, QConfirm, are now recognizing that this is their time to frag out. This is their opportunity, and off they go. There goes Minoru, there goes Sapao, there goes MBK, and we're into a 4-on-3, favoring QConfirm for the win in match number 5 of day 3.
4 versus 3 to end what's been an amazing day for the PCS Showdown APAC region. QConfirmed versus Made in Thailand. Duckman knocked down. Wow. Svit finding him on the right-hand side flank. Lands tags onto Homboya at half health. A lot of pressure now onto Escalating and Homboya. Escalating pushing over to the road, going for a flank. Needs to find something very early here. QC4 Horsemen using their 4-man advantage to spread out over this final phase 8 zone. Escalating almost conceding by going prone. He cannot be aggressive. JS takes a few shots from Homboya. 2 versus 4. QConfirm's very likely now to crack this triple digits. could very well be close. And by the way, we're actually tied again, Jordan. 115 points between Buriram and Archangel Predator. But this time, apparently, Archangel have got the kill. Bomboya does find Jace, but immediately swatted by Jalman. Traded back. 3 versus 1 remain. There's Belucia. Gets 1. Now it's only a 1 versus 2. It's Fit. Still up. Along with Gems. Spit, though, will get the win. QC4 Horsemen. 14 kill win to close out day number 3 of PCS Charity Showdown APAC region. 24 total points, chicken dinner, and 5 more games to go on Saturday to close out this region.
That's big points on the board for QConfirm. I said that they can get themselves back into the discussion with a win here. And it's not just a weak win, it's a 14 kill win, Xenox. So that's massive stuff for QConfirm. Finally, a little bit of that day 1 form coming back. Made in Thailand, great stuff from them as well. They'll be happy with 2nd place. And it's also good to see DivisionX back in the top 3, really keeping the top end of things super, super competitive. And man, we are going to have a fantastic finish on day number 4. Once we get here on Saturday, there is going to be some pretty interesting games ahead.